Hello everyone, welcome to Soulfish. I'm David. I am super happy you're here right now. You know, in working with a lot of folks and the energy of the time, a lot of questions keep re-emerging. And so there are three things I'm finding with people right now regarding self-doubt and how that blocks you. So it's one thing to understand that you have issues regarding self-doubt, but what's cool about these upcoming questions, what's cool about these upcoming concerns I'm going to share with you is that they're solvable. It's something that you have the power to change right now, today. It doesn't have to take years and years and years. It's not brain science. So let me get to the first big theme here. Bear with me. I'm reading this. So, how much of what you're concerned about is founded from past experiences? So if your self-doubt is stemming from your viewpoint of past experiences, then you need to re-examine what's reality right now. So much has changed over the last year. You have changed over the last year. If you're viewing something from previous eyeglasses, from a previous stance, if you were a 1 out of a 5 and now you're a 2 out of a 5, that whole circumstance has a whole new picture. It's a whole new feeling. It's a whole new set of opportunities and challenges, but you're at a different level, so you can't really experience the same thing because you're no longer a 1, you're a 2. I'm trying to simplify a little bit, but I hope you get what I mean. Here's an offshoot of that. You don't see how it's going to happen, and so it's hard to believe it's even possible. The problem is that you're already experiencing contradictions here. And if you focus on your energy and staying in a good place, the universe will give you the opportunity to be in the right place to see it. And once you see it, you spend your energy on doing it. Let spirit deliver the how. So those are my notes previously, So easy for us to become distracted by, I'd like it to be like this, I'd like it to be like that. And then or here are our goals, particularly at a new year, right? Here are our goals. Here's how I'd like the end of the year to end, Here's what I'd like to look like at the end of the year. And so instead of intentions, we set some real specifics, which in a lot of cases are outside of our control. And then we figure out, how can we craft what's around us? How are we the master of our destiny, right? That we craft everything around us to get me this specific result. Instead, if my intention was there and I focus less on specificity of X item, right, and more of what that item actually brings and represents, then that would create a very different outcome. The pressure on me, even though I'm still motivated, would be very different because I'm not also limiting what I can achieve by trying to set up something. I'm actually waiting to see what the opportunities come to me because I'm projecting out in a certain space. So I wait to see what comes to me, and then I use all of me to execute when I decide a direction. And so that energy that I would have used to try to think it up is now either saved inside me, saved or applied to make sure I keep myself up so that what I'm vibing with is more in alignment with who and what I want to be and am, right? So through that process, you find that letting go of the how is critical because that energy then gets tied up in these other things. The universe delivers the how to you, all these opportunities that you never could have thought up yourself. You never could have opened up enough doors yourself. We've all been there where, you think of something or you're hopeful in something, and you make this commitment to it and you're fully in, and all of these doors open for you that you couldn't control to allow this path to emerge, right? And that's really what you're wanting to happen in that scenario. So that's the second thing. So all tied in together, right? And then the third thing, sorry, my phone dropped. the third thing is recognizing, oh, this is a big one, okay? So, big theme last few weeks. Recognizing some truths about you, and that makes you feel negatively, instead of viewing your weaknesses practically. So, understanding that you're not perfect, it's hard to accept your own personal flaws, but knowing yourself is key to your success here on this plane. Right? Nobody wants to accept that they have flaws. Particularly our character limitations. Right? It's uncomfortable to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Wow, I'm not really good at that," or "I'm not as good a person in that area as I should be," or "My perspective is limited over here," or "My intelligence is limited over here." Anything that's really material, anything that's like core to you, that's like your key points, your key attributes, anything that shows you that some of your key attributes may not be as stellar as other attributes you have. It's okay. It's okay to see that. We all are in that place. You have a couple of choices. You can try to make what's bad into something that's good, what's good into something that's great, and what's great that you already excel at into something where you are like awesomeness, right? So you can approach that, take that approach of personal growth. You can also take the approach of focusing in on what you really do well at and what makes sense, so you're good in best things, and making sure you're minimizing your negative qualities, your negative attributes. And that's another approach. There's a third approach, which is as you grow, you actually dispel your negative attributes. So it doesn't become a constant conflict. In the first two approaches, which is most of what we're taught in different ways, through dogma, through schooling, through all of this kind of parental stuff or societal things or whatever you want, kind of the rules of where we live help to push us more in the first two options. The third option, though, is when you dispel it, the conflict ends. So you're no longer in this polarization. I call that real ascension energy. And, we've talked a lot about that. A lot of folks out there who teach a lot of an ascension energy as if it's an outside coming in, like a wave. And that does help. That happens every day. You have ascension energy waves. That's what energy is. It brings up and triggers in you. So every energy wave has the potential of ascension energy. What makes it ascension energy is when an event occurs that, let's say, is normally negative and is a triggering event for you or for other people, and yet for you, you're no longer triggered. It's no longer has an emotional claim on you, an energetic claim on you. So you can see the information, you can witness the information, very different than experiencing it, very different than living it, participating in it. That's true ascension energy. If a problem that has a 1 out of a 1, you remember 0, let's call that even, neutral, and then -1 to -5, not good, obviously, and then 1 to 5 on the feeling great side, 5 being you can bend space and time, transport yourself to other galaxies in your physical format. You don't need oxygen to breathe. I'm just playing. That's a 5, but anyway, let's just say that there's 1 problems, and you vibe out at a 3. Well, 1 problems, you see them, but they don't really feel as terrible as if you were a 1. You're a 3, so it gives you different options. Your attitude is different. Your perspective is different. The people that you are around are also different. The problems that come to you are different. It's hard to have a 1 problem that becomes really major when you're in a 3 state. So when you change yourself, everything changes. And that's real Ascension energy. And that's the hidden power that's locked in you, that you can unlock at any time. And that's our hopes here at Soulfish. So if we want to help raise the collective conscious. We want to help show you that you have this hidden power in you already. And that if we were all given the tools earlier on, we would have unlocked some of this stuff. But it comes when it comes. And you're here, and I'm here, and we learn this now at whatever stage we're in, and it means something, and it changes your life for the better from an inside-out perspective, not a fake, I'm great today like a diet, and then tomorrow I crash and burn, and the next day I'm up again. It doesn't work that way. You actually are able to move forward in the way that you really want to. And that's what's so special, and that's what's special about this time. That's what's special in you understanding what comes up with some of these self-doubts and how to work through them. You're so ready right now for what's here and available to you. Just let go to it. That's all you gotta do. Until next time, much love.